Good morning, pregame crew. It is Monday, February 13th, 2023, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. You found yourself at the pregame show. Thank you for being here. I hope you are well. The market is turning green overnight. It's quite a surprise, if I must say so. Based on this weekend's balloon incidents that keep happening, I'm kind of surprised we're green, but we'll go with it and we'll just stick with technical analysis versus predicting. Good morning, Night Truck. Hey, Mighty, Carlos, Casey, Keith, Ludovic, Greg, Mal, Sal, Lisa, Topher. Hey, Mar. Hey, Sam, Wave, Ponzi, Basque. Thank you, Night Truck. Thank you, Wave. Appreciate it. Mal, we had the Super Bowl yesterday, so it was an amazing game. Really good game. Hi, Duke. All right, I'll do a couple chart requests. If you have any, put it in chat. And then I'll get started with indices, commodities, crypto, movers, and shakers in about 8 minutes. Good morning. Pura Vida, Kevin. Good life. I don't know what that, I forget what that means. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Tess, Jojo, Kevin, Matthew, Jorge, N, Corey, Casey. Looks like we have a tightening pattern that continues. Daily higher low anticipated. Hourly did not get oversold yet. 370 is your key support, and then 360. Your daily higher low is down at 336, so you still have room for that higher low here. Man, I wish hourly were oversold. I'd feel better about a daily higher low. Hourly gets oversold around 347, and that would still make it a room for a daily higher low. So we'll see. Had a red day Friday, pretty weak. You could bottom fish 370 or 360. That's probably the most likely trade setup that I see, or the most favorable risk to reward trade setup that I see. Roll Tide, come on now. Tuscaloosa, hey Mary. Casey, I don't know if you're saying hey you or you want you, but we'll just do you. Daily higher low anticipated compared to 34.82. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Pretty weak. I mean, it is green this morning, but still overall weak, not even remotely close to Friday's high. 36.94 is your resistance, and support 35.41. Good morning, Chris. I have time for a couple more chart requests before I get started. Hi, Tiffany. Okay. Yeah, you is green this morning, but don't let that fool you. You've got a long way up to Friday's high. Guile, if I answer that question definitively, you need to turn off this stream and never listen to me again, because no one can tell you what's going to happen. We don't know who's on the other side pushing buttons, but let's look at Google. We could determine the more likely scenarios. We have plenty of room for a weekly high or low. Daily lost its uptrend. We're at the daily 50 MA. Closed Friday with an inside bar, 94.25 and 93.63 are your supports. Hourly is really struggling with these EMAs overhead. That's a potential 12-hour bear flag, so just be careful on it. Mal, I don't know. Football has historically been a Sunday event. For NFL anyway. Snap. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Daily higher low anticipated compared to 985. If that hourly oversold did not set that daily higher low, then snap bulls are in a little bit of trouble here. You're opening up closer to the high of Friday than to the low, so a little bit of strength here. Your support 1053 and 1048. Just don't like this 4-hour chart. Potential bear flag. Hull, she is not a public female trader. She was someone private that I worked with that had just simple line charts. I think so, Francisco. We look at nat gas every morning. It is weak. You've lost a 4-hour uptrend, hourly uptrend, daily support 235, pretty weak. Again, these low volume mornings, they can run it and do what they want to do with it this time of day. We've gone from green to red. 15-minute lower high anticipated on any bounce. Hey, Checks Landscaping. I will be doing Tesla. I do Tesla every morning. Good morning, George and Akin, A-Town, Francisco, Hull, Guile, Ben. Any more chart requests? If not, I'll just get started with the indices and we can get this show on the road. Let's do that. Let's get this show on the road. And if you're coming in a little late, I guess you can rewind it. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that would be lovely, at Chart Gal Lori. You can check us out at thechartguys.com. We teach technical analysis, and what I do here every morning is I go over the indices, commodity, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. I have my notes off screen. I reserve those for TCG members only. I give it to them after the show is over. Then I have my table. This is how I convey to you what I'm seeing. I'm very surprised that we're looking bullish this morning, considering how weak we were on Friday, and then this weekend's events with some national security issues of the U.S. with 4 unidentified, or 3 of them were unidentified balloons shot down. But the market's shaking it off pretty good. Hourly uptrend. It still could be a 12-hour bear flag. So we need to be cautious out there. That could be a 12-hour bear flag. We have plenty of room for an hourly higher low compared to 407.875 on ES. All right. Back to ES, sorry. So ES is over the hourly 50 MA, but NASDAQ is not. We're coming up on that Great Wall of Louisiana, which is the hourly 50 MA. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to what all the indicators that I use and what they mean. And we also have a YouTube video, how to set up your chart like Dan or Lori. Plenty of room for an hourly higher low compared to 12265. RTY, we're getting over the hourly 50 MA, plenty of room for hourly higher low. We're in an area without a lot of resistance. Oh, wrong color. So how hard we pulled back on Thursday, it wiped a lot of that support and resistance out, a lot of those orders, cleaned the order book. So now when we bounce into this area without a lot of resistance, it's actually a good situation for bulls to cut through. And ES has entered that area as well. So the Dow is over the hourly 50 MA. We're in that area where we pulled back pretty hard on Thursday. Y'all, we have CPI tomorrow and we have PPI on Thursday. We have retail sales on Wednesday. So this CPI number tomorrow, super important number. And I feel like I say that about every economic data, but they seem to get more and more important. So just a heads up. Hourly uptrend, no problems here. Support 33835. US 10-year is strong, and that is bearish for NASDAQ. We have a potential 4-hour bear flag to be aware of. Hi, Rudolph Greek. So potential 4-hour bull flag on US 10-year, and that is bearish NASDAQ. And then we have the VIX that's in a 4-hour EQ. Hourly lower high, most likely set. Then how do we resolve this tightening pattern will be important for the day. And then I almost forgot the most important chart, the dollar. Dollar bulls want to see it clear 103.964 or 104 psychological. The dollar bulls want to see that trend change, and that is ominous and or bearish for the indices if the dollar can get that trend change. Super important chart. And the 4-hour has no problems whatsoever. So this is a little bit of counter information to the market, and I have that marked off. Actually, I didn't. We just lost the hourly trend, so I need to change that. Here. So you can see all the different, the market bulls points that I gave them and the bears, and then the yellow highlighted ones are items that were a push. They were pretty close and pretty tied, so I didn't give it a point to the bulls or to the bears. So it's leaning a little more bullish today than it is bearish. Again, that dollar chart, super important. And is Bitcoin signaling incoming consolidation to the indices with this relative weakness that we have in Bitcoin with this potential hourly bear flag? Crypto is weak. It's very weak compared to the indices. Is Bitcoin telling us something? Your resistance 21903.03, your support 21454. You're below the hourly EMAs, you're below the 4-hour EMAs, 4-hour downtrend. Chris, what a great question. You've been trading for 6 years and you found that my weakest link is letting my winners run. What have you struggled with most in your career so far? Oh, Chris, what have I not struggled with? I've done it all, so I'm the kind of kid that you can't tell me don't put my hand on a hot stove. I have to do it myself to learn. So there's that. So I have to learn the hard way a lot of times. But I would say that's definitely up there in the top 2 for sure, is letting my winners run. And the way that you can get over that, Chris, is put your order in either a trailing stop or a target where you put in one cancels the other, where you put in a target and a stop loss, and then if your targets hit first, it cancels your stop loss and vice versa, and turn off your computer. So I've always thought that it was a detriment to me to be part of TCG, not that being part of TCG is a detriment, but I have at the computer all day, every day, so I can't take my eyes off charts. So that's a problem. But you, unless you're at the computer all day being forced to look at charts, you can shut your broker down. So for me, that is my biggest advice I can give you, is set your orders and shut down your broker. All right. So Ethereum is weak. 4-hour downtrend, potential hourly bear flag, support 1467, resistance 1526. Chris, I would be very careful holding AMD and NVIDIA. If you know NVIDIA has earnings, I would be very careful in holding AMD overnight. Those correlations can sometimes be strong and you can be impacted. Great questions. All right, so gold. We have a downtrend on the hourly. Bulls are hoping this is the beginning of a bullish diamond reversal pattern, but it's not confirmed yet. It's not very well developed. So hourly downtrend. Gold bulls do not want to see dollar confirm that daily trend change to the upside. That would be more bearish news for gold. Support 1864, 1863. And then you're looking down at 1837. Oil, we got a decent bounce this morning. Man, it's pulled back pretty hard. Bears are still looking for that daily lower high. Still looking for it. Hasn't happened yet. 4-hour lower high most likely set at 79.83. Hourly lower high set. Now the question is, can they get an hourly higher low compared to 78.45? Bears are turning on the juice a little bit here. Good morning, Succulent Life. Happy Monday to you. Nat gas. Nat gas, I covered it earlier. Someone asked before I got started. It is weak. We've lost the 4-hour uptrend. We've lost the hourly uptrend. And this is the witching hour for nat gas, where games like to be played on low volume. They can run it whichever direction they expect. On a bounce, you're looking for a lower high compared to 2581. Bears have it. Bears still have control of this chart. You're welcome, Chris. All right, Apple. Apple is strong. Apple is over Friday's high. It isn't right here at this moment. It just dropped below it a penny. The high of Friday, 151.34. But most of the morning, we've been above the high of Friday. With Apple relative strength, it's just hard to short this market. You have support at 150.29 and 150.01. GBP USD. Getting a good bounce on. The British pound does not want to see the dollar change that trend to the upside. That would be bearish for the pound. Plenty of room for an hourly higher low. You're in a 4-hour downtrend. You're in a daily downtrend. An aggressive bull could look for a pullback to get that hourly potential higher low relative to 120.306. Your resistance 121.152 and then 121.304. Watch the dollar. If the dollar confirms the trend, this chart won't resolve in a pretty way. Thank you, Dragus. I'm having a great day. Okay, so we're struggling here at the hourly EMAs with Amazon. We have been unable to get over Friday's high, so Amazon is relatively weak compared to Apple, who has been able to get over Friday's high. We're not currently maintaining it, but definitely showing a little more relative strength than Amazon. Struggling here at the EMAs. Man, we're below the daily moving averages. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Amazon's weak. Okay, we have NVIDIA. NVIDIA has a potential 4-hour bear flag. You look at NVIDIA on the daily and you're like, my goodness, that's a beautiful chart. No problems here. But that 4-hour is not super healthy, and we're struggling at the hourly EMAs. NVIDIA weakness is creeping in here. You have support at 209.57 and 208.11, resistance at 217.31. Daily looks good. 4-hour leaves a lot to be desired. We had a pretty big pullback on Friday, 5%. Tesla. Things have changed with Tesla. Let's see. They've gone from muted to red. So on Tesla, your low of Friday, 192.89, will be key support going forward, and your resistance is 199.50. Tesla and NVIDIA are in the same boat. Their daily charts look fine, but man, did they have big pullbacks on Friday. So I would stay with the 5 and 15 minute overbought is for shorting reverse back burner psychology today on these weaker names. MARA, I'm looking for a top fish against 596, 595 against Friday's high due to crypto weakness. So I'm looking for an MARA short compared to 596. Top fish setup. Microsoft is strong. It is over Friday's high. And remember, these AI names are just going to be really tough to short in this AI hyped environment. You have plenty of room for an hourly higher low compared to 26106. Then your next support 260.66. The high of Friday, 26409, could serve as support on a pullback. It is strong. Netflix is weak. Potential 4-hour bear flag. We've lost the daily uptrend. Bounces are for shorting on this one. I really like the idea of shorting this one. Your next resistance, 354.85. Looking for those 5 and 15 minute potential overbought conditions. And then UNH I have as a top fish setup. When we look at it on the daily, when you pull back from a higher high to a lower low, bounce, and you have this V-shaped bounce, I'm looking for that lower high compared to 505.50. So I like a top fish setup against Friday's high. Now these names that are pretty big, like $500 instrument like United Healthcare, you have to wait for it to open a bit and get a few trades and a little volume coming in before you can judge where it's going. All right, so that's my Queen of the Mountain. MARA short, Netflix short, United Healthcare short, and Microsoft potential long. AI. AI, we've lost the daily uptrend. We are not over Friday's high at this point. Friday's high is 23.59. That could act as resistance as we open up down here. Support 22.01 and 21.89. I just don't like this chart setup. I don't see a clear trade idea where the risk to reward makes sense. I just don't see it. Good morning, KK. All right, I got finished pretty quickly, so I have time to do a couple chart requests. And if you could remember to hit that like button, there are 300 of you and only 75 have hit the like button. If you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. I saw DKNG, they have earnings this week. Again, CPI tomorrow. They have earnings tomorrow after hours, DKNG. Okay. USD MXN. Again, this name's going to have a hard time with recent dollar strength, potential 4-hour bear flag. Aggressive bears are looking to top fish 1872. Your support 186150, then 1850.710. Okay, TSX. Hello, Joka. Yep, Ponzi, I looked at Nat Gas. It's bearish. You can rewind it. I did look at it. Maybe I was a little fast. Potential 2-hour bear flag. Bears are looking for top fish setups here. And man, you got a perfect potential 30-minute rising wedge with that 2-hour bear flag. That makes a lot of sense. These tiny higher highs are not getting a lot of follow through. Well, actually, it didn't get a higher high. It was a double top. However, this still has that rising wedge psychology. CHR USDT. Daily has room for a higher low. 4-hour downtrend. I would be a more comfortable bear shorting 1929 on a bounce than I would be of buying this dip. I'd feel more comfortable here than here. Yeah, bear volume picked up on that last 4-hour candle as well, and that was overnight. Okay. George, I don't typically chart FNGU because that's a leveraged ETN. So it's 3 times leverage. I want to look at what the underlying is. I will do this for you though. We have a potential 4-hour bear flag. 83.18 is your resistance. Friday's high. Your support 76.75. It had a pretty rough day on Friday. Bounces are for shorting. When you have a name that had just crazy weakness on Friday, you just go into reverse back burner mode. mRNA. Weekly downtrend, daily downtrend, 4 hours trying to get something going, and hourly. It had a pretty green day when other names were having red days, so doesn't look terrible. Support 168.23 and 168.07. It had a great day Friday, but it is far, far from being out of the woods. Yep, I did the VIX. It has an hourly EQ. So we have an hourly EQ, resistance 2169 and 2194, support 2044. We're just tightening up here. All right. Well, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up a little early. Thank you for being here. TCG members, I will copy my notes and I'll have them over in chat in about 30 seconds. If you could hit the like button before you exit, I'd appreciate it. And y'all use stop losses.